Hey everybody, welcome back. Today we're doing part 2 of the fish room tour. If you missed part 1, go ahead and check it out after this. What you're seeing right now are some clips of the tanks and fish that we saw in that video. Today we're going to look at the other half of the fish room. And I really hope you enjoy it because part 1 got phenomenal feedback. You were all so encouraging with your comments and people seem to like the video. So I hope that today's video lives up to the standards that we've set with part 1. But enough rambling, you're here to see fish, so let's get to it. We left off last time just before this rack of 125-gallon aquariums. So let's start off with the top one. And up top is another just beautiful fish. These are the albino threadfin akara. Now that's a common name, they're not technically akara, but people call them albino threadfin akara. And this one's a little older, but still a I'd call him a juvenile to subadult, and these are juveniles. When these guys grow up, they develop amazing finnage. They develop these long trailers and beautiful, vibrant fins that are just extraordinary. And I have 10 of them in here with the hopes of breeding them someday. They're not, I wouldn't call them rare, they're uncommon in the hobby. They can be difficult to find, but they're not impossible to find. They're going to be a pricey fish most likely when you find them. I think they're worth it. And long term, this 125 will probably only handle a group of about 6 of them. So as they grow up, we'll have to kind of wean out some of the males and get a better ratio there. Let's look down below at this 125 gallon that has more African malawian cichlids in it. Now most of these are haps. We got a group of blue dolphins, Certicara morii, that we've bred that we're still growing up. Now these are going to supplement the group in the 575. We have some peacocks in here, some blue neons that we bred as well. We're just growing them up. But the fish that we're really excited about here, there's one right there. That is a libidochromis rhodesii. Like the Malawi hawk, they get massive. And that is an exochromis anagenus. Again, going to be a massive fish, like absolute monsters. To the point where I'm worried that the 575 might not even be big enough. We're going to have to figure it out. I mean, it'll be big enough, but I may not be able to stock as many fish in it as I want. This guy's starting to show good color, but they're beautiful. I mean, this is nothing. This is nothing compared to what they look like when they grow up. But yeah, we got the libidochromis rhodesii and the exochromis anagenus and the Certicara morii. Yeah, it's a good tank. I think it looks good. It's a fun tank. It's not overly aquascaped. Just kind of piled up some rocks. But it's beautiful. And I don't have light all the way to the edges. Sometimes I like having a tank that's more lit just in the center. Give the fish some escape to the sides where they can feel a little more secure. Alright, but we got to move on. This is our rack of 4 75 gallons. Let's move up here first. What we have here is a 75 gallon full of yellow labs. Libidochromis chyrulius. And I love this fish, even though it's probably the most common African cichlid in the hobby. But it's common for a reason. These fish are beautiful, vibrant yellow, and they're relatively peaceful for African cichlids. The only downside to this species is that because it's so common, there's a lot of poor quality specimens out there. But this is a group that I've been working on for several generations, trying to breed it back to being the vibrant yellow with dark black fins that it should have. Alright, moving down below, we have our discus tank. And I absolutely love discus, which is unfortunate because they're kind of expensive. And the water we have to work with here also isn't the best for them. It's very hard. And these are Stendker discus, which are a little more accustomed to hard water off the bat. But even so, we still have to mix in reverse osmosis water to get it into a more acceptable range for them. And like with most of the fish in the fish room here, the long-term goal is to get these guys breeding and just have a bunch more of them. All right, moving on. In this 75-gallon, we have some extra yellow labs that will be moving out here shortly. But the star of the tank, who's hiding right now, is the Herictus carpentis rio hondo, a stunning and big Central American cichlid. Now, this is similar in appearance to what many of you might know of as a Texas cichlid. They're not the same species, but they do look similar. I find the rio hondos to have a bit more intricate purling pattern on their scales and a bit more vibrant coloration when you see them in person. And these fish get to be about 12 inches, so they're a decent sized fish. And then down below we have a tank with our male starry night cichlid. And he was being a little camera shy when we filmed the tour, so this is footage from another time when he was being a little more showy. And this is actually him with his girlfriend. They're currently separated, had some trouble in paradise, but we'll get them back together soon enough. But this is probably one of my favorite fish. I mean, I say that about most fish, but this is probably one of my favorite fish. I think they just look amazing. It's incredible, and I don't think nearly enough people keep this fish in the hobby. But we can't spend too much time here, so we gotta move on. This is another pair of tanks that we built for the fish room. These are 60-gallon glass aquariums. They are about 4.5 feet long. It's a good tank size. I really like the tank size. Let's talk about the African cichlids we have up here. We have albino blue dolphins. Now, we didn't breed these, we traded for these. But these are albino Certicara morii. They're gonna be so cool. We also have some zebra obliquidans, Estatotilapia latifasciata. And they're growing up as well. They're not showing color quite yet. And then, yeah. One of the fish that we're super excited about. These are actually the same species as the yellow labs, but they're a different collection point. And they're called zebra labs, if I can get the camera to focus. And when they grow up, they'll be a beautiful pattern of blue with black bars. And they'll just be so cool when they develop that pattern. All right, down below we have another 60-gallon with topaz cichlids. These are Amatitlania myrnae. I've done some videos on these guys. I think they're so cool. I want to breed them, but somehow I got a group of 10 and ended up with 9 males and 1 female. So I still hope to breed that 1 female. There's one of the more dominant males. I love their blue eyes. Their blue eyes are so striking. And here's the female kind of peeking out right there. And I actually picked up a few more fish, allegedly females. So we'll see if that ends up being what they are. Yeah, that's a good shot. I like these fish. I like them a lot. They're also pretty rare in the hobby. I mean, you can find them. But it's not something that you can just go to your local fish store and see them there, most likely. They're pretty uncommon, but if you're looking for them, they're out there. Okay, so that about covers all the, what I'll call display tanks. Oh wait, no, the 650-gallon. All right, oh no, the lights just turned off. Hold on. All right, so this is a 650-gallon aquarium made specifically for our 34-inch fire eel. This guy right here, this guy's name is Samson. And we've done videos on him before. Check out the channel, there's a few. But we love this guy. He is a beast. We also got some bala sharks in here. I love bala sharks. Such an underrated fish. And we have a couple giant gouramis, albino giant gouramis. These fish are going to get huge. I mean, they're already big. That guy is at least a foot. Like, that fish is a foot. But that's just the length. Think about how tall it is and how girthy it is. And then we got some silver dollars. These are some nice full-grown specimens. Very cool fish. Very iridescent. We even got some datnoids in here. Though I don't know about how much longer we'll have them. I never see these fish. So we'll see if we end up keeping those fish. But mainly, the star of the show is always the fire eel, Mr. Sampson here. But yeah, this is his tank. It's our biggest tank. It's just a little bit bigger than the African cichlid aquarium, and we love it. It's one of our earlier plywood builds, which you might be able to tell that based on the quality of the finish, the finish work. But hey, you got to start somewhere, right? And that pretty much covers all the display tanks. But I think I'll take another minute and show you some of the more behind the scenes stuff. The breeding tanks, the quarantine tanks, etc. This is just a 29 gallon with some otter point peacocks. Got another male heavy group here. I'm not sure what it is with my luck. I keep ending up getting just like a ton of males and very few females. Okay, here's another 30 gallon. Ooh, this is a treat. We might have some breeding activity. These are Danakillia shukaray. Now ignore the terrible background. Let's look at the fish though. And they're going to be hard to catch because they're super fast and super active. But these are a very rare fish. And I am so excited to breed these. And they're still sub-adults. This is not what they look like full grown. But they're getting there. I think they're close to breeding age. I thought I just saw them doing breeding behavior. But I've also never kept this species. So maybe they're just playing around. I don't know. And just the last thing I'll show you is just, you know, a breeding rack that we use here. And we use it kind of like as both breeding and hospital when needed. Just a three-level rack. We got some 45 breeders on the bottom. That one, the water is cloudy, yes. It has medications in it. We're treating some sick fish. In this tank, we're growing out some Estatotilapia calyptera and Pundamilia macrocephala. Had a couple hundred fish in there. In this tank, we just bred a couple hundred OB peacocks. Over here, we got a couple hundred albino blue neon peacocks. Then over here, kind of dark, hold on. We didn't breed these, we traded for these, but these are deep water haps. There they are. There they're coming, deep water haps. Up here, we have a breeding quad of Libidochromis species ruby green. And this is where we have 3 adult females. And I actually needed a male this time. So I was able to source a male from Dave's Rare Aquarium Fish. And then these are more Danakillia shukaray. Actually found another source, bought what he had left because I wanted to have some extra genetic diversity. And they're still pretty young. These guys are only about an inch. So when they get older, I will combine them with the other group. And that'll be a nice mix for some added diversity there. But that's about all I have to show you guys for now. I hope you enjoyed the tour. I hope you maybe saw some cool new fish that you'll consider keeping yourself. I really enjoy sharing my hobby with you, and I appreciate all the positive feedback you all left on the last video. It means a lot to me. If you got any thoughts or suggestions, drop them in the comments below, but otherwise, I'll see you guys next time. Take it easy.